This is Silph Radio, a Pokemon-centered podcast. Each episode of this podcast, we explore a different aspect of the Pokemon universe in depth, whether that be something to do with the real-world fandom, like we did last week, or something to do with the in-game canon, like we do with our gym leader highlights or our Pokemon highlights, or, as is the case today, it may even be to the real-world influences, the mythological and cultural influences behind the Pokemon themselves. Keep in mind, we have no association with Nintendo, Game Freak, Wizards of the Coast, or anybody else that produces Pokemon stuff. This is an entirely fan-produced podcast for fans. I'm your host, Nathan K. With me today,
it's Craig Lewis. I'm back again. How you doing, internets?
The internet is doing well. Don't ask that question.
No. The internet's having a collective shit fit.
Yeah.
Over everything.
Craig Lewis, my good friend, my podcast partner from over on that other podcast we do called Fairpoint.
Yeah, you might have heard of it.
It does still exist. I promise it does.
It's a mini hiatus just because other stuff's happening.
But it's good to have both of us back together in front of these mics for the first time in the last over a month.
Yeah, fuck yeah, Nathan. High five for that one. Nice.
Pokemon Sun and Moon are out, and we're going to take a look at the 3 starters and each of their 3 evolutionary stages and figure out where does the inspiration for these creatures come from.
Yeah, I'm also really happy that the Pokemon Company or Game Freak or whatever decided to release all this information about these Pokemon.
Yes, there are full, 3-4 paragraph Pokedex entries pretty much on the official website for every Pokemon, and I believe even Alola forms. So it's pretty awesome. Way more information about the Pokemon straight up from the mouth of the creators than ever before, rather than the few 2-3 lines that we get out of a Pokedex entry.
Yeah, we're getting short journal entries.
And boy howdy does it give us a lot to work with today. May I ask you, Craig, have you chosen your starter? Have you decided who you're going to use as your starter in Pokemon Sun and Moon?
Yes, I'm going to be going with the forms of Rowlett, Dartrix, and Decidueye. It was the Archer thing. It was the Archer thing that threw it in. I was going to do the Fire Cat, but I'm tired of seeing wrestling animals as the fire form.
Well, it's not a fighting type.
That's true, but it looks like a wrestler, does it not?
It does.
Looks like a cat version of Emboar.
We're going to get pretty deep into that, but it's actually a fire dark type. The water type evolves to a water fairy type, and the grass type, which starts out as grass flying, ends up becoming grass ghost in its final evolutionary stage.
And that's fucking sweet. It's interesting, though, because I was always a fire trainer, and what I wanted was a dark fire Pokemon, but I just didn't like the look of the evolved form.
Interesting, because you're such a big fan of wrestling, too.
Yeah, I'm just, I don't know. I don't know. It's weird, right?
Yeah. Antoine loves it. That's his new favorite Pokemon.
But a flying ghost archer, it doesn't matter. I can love wrestling as much as the biggest wrestling fan in the world. That sounds way more intriguing to me.
Oh my god, it's one of the coolest Pokemon. It is the coolest starter since Greninja. So since last generation.
Right. And it's a fucking owl.
Yes, I mean, I actually...
Owls are cool as shit.
I loved Decidueye for weeks before I realized, oh my god, wait, it's a ghost type? Wait, what? It was like, oh my god, that's my new favorite Pokemon, and I thought it was just grass flying. And then I realized it's a ghost type? Wait, why? Why is it a ghost type? I love that, but why?
Oh, it's a stealthy bitch.
So do you have any idea or any theories, or have you thought much about these Pokemon and their influences? Notice how we haven't even really talked about Popplio.
Right. Well, we'll get to that, but should we just start with this one? Or
yeah, so let's jump in with the one that everyone kind of shunned at first, but a lot of people are warming up to now that they've seen the evolution, Popplio. Well, what is it? Popplio, Brionne, and Primarina.
Yeah, I'm anti-SeaWorld, so I don't really... It looks like it's a little creature that would be doing tricks for SeaWorld.
Yeah, or old Russian circuses.
Yeah. Yeah, little baby seal Popplio.
Yeah, it's a water type that eventually evolves into a water fairy type, and it begins life reminiscent of like a Russian circus seal or something. And that does harken back to a pretty awful time for animals in history. And it's questionable at first, why does Pokemon feel the need to introduce another seal? Well, it's a sea lion, actually.
Right. Okay, so it's not singing Kiss from a Rose.
But with Pokemon, I think it's not that clear cut. It's both a sea lion and a seal. It's a Pokemon that draws inspiration from many things.
I do have to say, Primarina is a beautiful looking Pokemon.
Yes, so it begins life as a little sea lion seal thing with like a circus frill around its neck. Next stage, it has kind of weird bubbly pigtails and like a tutu almost formed from like the fin type.
Yeah, well,
things.
it's like
frills around its
tutu
waist
mixed with a halter top. I don't know.
And it's becoming more mermaid-like. The third and final evolution, it has full long arms like a seal, long mermaid tail,
but
long flowing hair behind it, and even
kind of has like the shape of an anthropomorphic sea lion.
Yes,
but with a mermaid tail.
So let's see what Nintendo has to say about this Pokemon.
I believe this is what its actual Pokedex entry is going to be.
I believe from memory that these are the exact 4 paragraphs
yep.
that were on the website.
I wasn't prepared for this, so let me get ready. Popplio's swimming speed is known to exceed 25 miles per hour. It's better at moving in the water than on land. No shit. Still, when it's on land, it takes advantage of the elasticity of its balloons to perform acrobatic stunts and jumps. What balloons?
Well, it can make balloons, apparently.
Oh.
Keep reading.
Okay. Right. Popplio can snort out balloons made of water. Gross?
Pretty gross.
Watch it spin water balloons into a playful battle strategy. Both frivolous and hardworking, Popplio can easily get carried away, unleashing enough power in battle to make quite a spectacle. But Popplio's determined spirit means it can usually be found practicing hard on its balloon skills. I'm not done.
Got mad balloon skills.
Yo, word to your moms. The water gun move attacks an opponent by firing a jet of water.
No shit.
Popplio knows the move from the moment it becomes your partner. It's like it's almost like doing it like you're revealing a Price is Right prize. You can choose this Popplio as your partner. It knows water gun. Like every other water Pokemon.
Yeah, no shit.
Every other water starter. But that's a lot. I feel like that's way more, like you were saying earlier. That's way more than any other Pokedex entry on a Pokemon in the previous generations.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. And this is what it has to say about the second stage of the water type's evolution, Brionne.
I am excited.
Brionne learns its dances by imitating the other members of its colony. It sometimes even learns dances from humans. This Pokemon is a hard worker and pours itself into its efforts until it has memorized each dance. As it dances, Brionne creates balloon after balloon. In battle, it first sends its opponent into disarray with its dancing, and then slaps its balloons into its target, causing the balloons to explode and deal damage.
Oh, boy.
Brionne can dance in perfect time with others, even if they have only just met. On moonlit nights, you can sometimes see throngs of Brionne dancing as one in perfect fluidity.
So pretty.
Brionne always acts cheery and positive. Even when it's feeling sad, this Pokemon doesn't allow its sorrow to show. Yeah, that's not always that healthy, though. It's said that Brionne...
Ask any other of the comedians that have committed suicide.
Ooh, ouch.
Dark, but true.
It's said that Brionne will only reveal a sad expression to a Pokemon or trainer to whom it has opened its heart completely.
That is so sweet. I love this, but at the same time, wouldn't anybody else be mesmerized if somebody was just creating balloons? You're like, balloons. But it's kind of lame. Primarina the ballerina. As it dances, Primarina releases balloons of water into the area around itself. Loves those fucking balloons. Moving them using the sound waves from its voice. The sight of moonlight reflecting off its glittering balloons creates a magical scene. Since Primarina controls its balloons using its voice, any injury to its throat can become a grave problem. Its greatest enemies are arid environments and the overuse of its voice during back-to-back battles.
So you got to have a lot of hot tea with honey.
Yes, absolutely. Or
on hand.
You can't do back-to-back battles with the same Pokemon anymore because apparently they have stamina gauges now. Or maybe just this Pokemon.
Primarina.
I wanted to just come on and go, Primarina Ballerina.
You did.
Yeah.
You did.
I want
do that.
it to do that. I want the Primarina to actually do that.
Oh, okay. I thought you said you wanted to.
Instead of what it would actually do, which wouldn't be Primarina, it would be...
Well, they sing, apparently, so it would probably be prettier than that.
What if it just comes out singing, and yeah.
No, Kiss from a Rose.
That would be Kiss from a Rose, because it's a sea lion. It's a seal ion.
Kiss from a Roserade.
Sparkling Aria is a water-type special move that only Primarina can learn, and it heals the burns of any target it strikes. That is not a good thing. Why would you want to heal your opponent's burn? Tell.
It's weird, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's certain cards, like in Magic, have abilities that do things like that. You know, it's just...
It does damage for you, but, you know. And kind of special. It says Primarina is the only one that can learn this move.
Yeah, it's its signature move. Most Pokemon that are like a big deal, like the starters, have a signature move.
They get their own SIGs.
Yeah.
They have ID. Primarina's songs have many variations, and each one changes the motions of the balloons. It has been observed that songs are shared among Primarina living together, so different colonies end up knowing different songs.
That is really cool. That the same thing happens with whales, actually. So this is another instance of there being an overload of influences into one creature, but it still kind of merges and creates like a pretty consistent creature and character.
Yeah, so which aquatic sea life do you think the balloons come from?
Well, I think that's a reference to the circus, like, influences on it.
Yeah, maybe it will attack its trainer. It gains its freedom.
Besides the circus influences, though, I think there's clearly two other very obvious influences to this Pokemon. Care to wager a guess, Craig?
I think I'm going to have to go and reread what I just heard and read.
Can I phone a friend? Can I...
How many lifelines do we get?
Can I do a 50-50? Well, that doesn't work because I haven't given you a multiple choice, Craig.
Okay, so what do we got so far? We got whales, and we got the circus.
Whales, the circus, sea lions.
Sea lions.
Not just
mermaids.
Sea lions, but also seals.
Sirens, mermaid sirens.
Mermaids and sirens. There you go. You nailed it. There you go, Craig. You nailed it. First of all, it uses its voice, and it learns a move called Disarming Voice and a move called, as you said, Sparkling Aria, which an aria is like an opera song or something. And that move...
heal my burns with your water.
Yeah, it heals, which is really interesting, too. Keep the healing thing, put a tab for later. Because we're going to talk about that at the end after we've talked about the other two. And its influence from mermaids is obvious. Just look at its design.
Yeah, the Primarina's design.
I like how it even has a starfish-like thing on it. You know how Ariel has a starfish?
Oh, yeah. In her hair.
So that's kind of cool. Disney, don't sue Pokemon. Come on.
Don't be a dick. They wouldn't win that.
They just buy it. The name Primarina... too is kind of like prima donna mixed with marina.
So it's a diva. It's a marina diva mermaid.
Diva Plavlaguna?
Yeah.
It does kind of look like Diva Plavlaguna, doesn't it?
It does, especially the seal-shaped face.
And big flippers. No, you know what? It doesn't really.
Nope.
It really actually doesn't.
Not even in the least.
It just shares a similar color, and that's racist. Not all blue Pokemon are water Pokemon, and not all water Pokemon are blue.
Like Lotad has a green in him, but he's still blue.
Yeah, Lotad's blue. Most water Pokemon are blue.
Most water Pokemon are blue.
So,
do you think it also draws some inspiration from Super Soakers with its water gun move that every water type has? It's like if the next one was like, and it specially learns Ember.
Its signature move, Ember.
That's why I passed. No.
So moving along, there's the Fire Starter, which you have shunned, Craig.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it would definitely be the second one I choose on a replay.
Well, I expressed this notion on the podcast before that I was absolutely in love with Litten. Litten is the most adorable little thing ever. And
yes, it was totally just the third stage evolution that threw me off.
I was hoping for something a little more feline. It does the classic... have you ever heard that riddle from the Odyssey? the Oedipus or the Sphinx, that the Sphinx asked Odyssey Man.
Yeah, but I mean, for the sake of the listeners,
it goes. What is on 4 legs in the morning, 4 legs in the afternoon, and 2 legs at night? And Odyssey Man or Odysseus. Not Oedipus, as I said earlier. That's the guy that wanted to fuck his mom, right?
Yeah.
No, Odysseus, or as he's known in academic circles, Odyssey Man.
Odyssey Man.
Odyssey Man says, well,
with the power of prophecy.
I totally ruined my own joke by just killing the timing completely and bailing on it and jumping to another joke.
Yeah, I was going to let you move on and fix it, but then you stopped, and I was like, I got to get in on this.
Apparently, I thought Odyssey Man was funnier than the joke about the Sphinx riddle. The Sphinx riddle, what walks on 4 legs in the morning and 2 legs in the night, is, of course, Fire-type Pokemon. Fire-type starters, to be specific. Yeah.
But isn't Charmander on 2?
Yeah, but there's the pig, there's the fox. There's the Torchic. Well, that started on 1 leg.
It only had 1 leg? Torchic?
Torchic, yeah.
Yeah, this riddle doesn't sound so great now. Was Cyndaquil, is that 2 legs?
4 legs, and then, yeah, it does kind of go to 2 legs. The official sprites all show it on 2 legs, so did the official art. But that's funny. I do normally imagine Typhlosion running around on 4 legs and maybe sometimes going hind legs. But we're not talking about Typhlosion. We're not talking about Charmander. We're not talking about Fire Pig. We're not talking about Odyssey Man.
I wish. That's a different podcast.
Does whatever an Odyssey can. We're talking about Litten.
Litleo. No, Litten.
Litten.
Smitten by Litten, guys.
Toracat. Nothing for that one?
Toracat.
Tore up by a cat.
I got tore up by a cat.
And Incineroar.
Ugh. It is a cool name, actually.
So these guys, whereas the last one was obviously based on a sea lion or a seal, are based on a tiger. To be specific, a Sumatran tiger. The Sumatran tiger is the only type of tiger which can be found in
wearing
Polynesia.
Wrestling tights.
Yes. It's the only type of tiger that walks bipedally.
Yup.
And
power lifts.
No, but it is the only type of tiger that is indigenous to Polynesia. And all 3 starters seem to have some type of inspiration that you can find in the Polynesian islands.
If I was going to get a Litten, I'd name it Tony.
Oh, yeah? Really? Well, what would you name your Popplio?
What would I name a Popplio? Probably Ariel.
Ariel?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm cheesy like that. It's easy.
Yeah.
It's greasy.
Right. I'd have to go a little,
deeper?
Yeah. What would I
maybe
name
search up the Greek sirens and if they had any specific names.
Right. Something like that. So you'd name your Litten Tony.
Tony the Tiger.
I'm surprised you're not going to name it after an actual wrestler.
John Cena?
No,
I mean, I would name it Tony because it looks like if Tony the Tiger was not only rabid, but wearing a Seth Rollins, what do you call them? Like the spandex shirts.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So yeah, I like Tony. Rabid Tony. RT for short,
Yeah, I don't know what I would name it.
I mean, name it Shere Khan or... any other famous tiger? Shiva?
Well, I think I would want something...
Honor Shiva?
I think I would want something that had to do with wrestling.
That had to do with wrestling?
Yeah.
I know there's a tiger trainer. He's probably some kind of Indian stereotype from the 90s. Can't think of his name, but I'm sure that's the one.
No, I would just find a name...
Punjabi something. I don't know.
I would name it Vince.
Yeah, Vinnie Mac. Oh, but yeah, it does. I wish maybe it had softer features for the final one, being a dark type, kind of more like a shadow, like a stealthy.
Yeah, I was
kind of more playing off like a mage, maybe like a dark mage instead of.
Okay, interesting that you say that. See, this is okay. You know what I told you? I told you to tab that one thing for the end.
Yeah.
They all seem to be carrying on a theme from the previous generation of RPG archetypes.
What generation?
Well, Delphox was the mage, so we already got the mage.
Yeah, I know.
Greninja was the rogue, but
it was a psychic mage, though.
And then what's the Oshawott not Oshawott.
Right? There's a few generations.
No, what's the Chespin?
Chespin, Chestnut.
I don't remember what its evolution is called, but that
Chestnut.
guy's the soldier or warrior, and then
he looks more like an ogre.
Yeah,
but,
well, it's got the armor and everything.
Yeah.
But now in this generation, now you've got the healer, which can heal the opponent's burns. Its attacks specifically heal.
Oh my God!
You've got
the healer, the rogue, and the fighter.
Well, not the rogue, because the rogue
barbarian.
was Greninja, but
true.
the rogue or thief was Greninja, and then this one's like the archer or ranger.
Ranger, yes, that's one I was looking for.
The fighter or berserker.
That's another reason is I don't. It seems like this has more of a D&D style, like with the archetypes.
Yeah, it's so awesome. I love it, and I love how they can combine so many influences and dynamics into these creatures, which still feel like concise characters.
Yeah.
So, what does the Pokedex have to say for these Pokemon?
Let's find out, Nathan.
According to the Pokedex, Litten. Logical but also passionate, Litten always remains cool-headed and doesn't show its emotions on the surface.
Fucking James Dean, dude.
Litten can attack with flaming hairballs. Its fur is rich in oils and immensely flammable.
That's so awesome. That is awesome.
Litten grooms itself by licking its fur and then uses the collected fur as fuel for fireball attacks. When the time comes for Litten to shed its old fur, it all burns up in a glorious blaze.
It's more of a pyromancer.
I would love to have a cat
awesome.
that instead of shedding its fur, it burns down my house. Never mind.
Spits fireballs. I would rather have that. Like
Well,
Mario with firepower.
You wouldn't have hair all over your shirt because burst up in flames. But
it'd be a glorious blaze. Is what it would be.
Just think of the insurance money. The move Ember attacks an opponent by firing a small flame at it. Litten knows this move from the moment it becomes your partner.
Told you, Ember.
So all we get out of that is that
it has Ember.
Litten's a cute, stoic, ornery cat.
Cool-headed, calm, collected, passionate. It's a fucking passionate lover, I tell you that.
Okay, Craig. This is not Furry Cast. This is not Fur Point.
But it could be. We barely have to change any words.
Coming soon, Fur Enough, with Craig and somebody else.
It's going to be a YouTube channel, and it's just going to be cute, adorable kitten videos. No actual weird stuff, just cute kitten videos.
I can't argue with that. Why don't you tell us what the Pokedex has to say for Torracat?
Torracat, it's like, just looking at the picture, it's like super feisty looking. It's just like a bigger version of Litten, but it has a bell around its neck.
A little stockier.
It looks like a playful cat.
Totally.
Which are the cool kinds.
Totally. You're right.
All right. The Pokedex entry says, the bell-like object attached at the base of Torracat's neck is a flame sac. Not even going to make the immature joke. An organ that can produce flames. Better get that checked out.
What?
Better get that checked out.
Oh. I was like, what? Better get checked out. I was like, what?
Fuck.
Craig turned into a Pokemon.
I don't know. I'm super giddy tonight, I feel.
It's got this little... It looks like it has a collar with a bell on it. But apparently they're actually referencing... See, that's like fanfic type shit. People be like, Charizard has flame sacs in its chest. And like, yeah.
Oh, yeah. This whole thing reeks of fan service. I love it. Torracat's emotions cause a rise in the organ's temperature, and when the organ spits flames, it rings.
This really is for furries. Jesus Christ!
It rings with the high, clear sound of a bell. Torracat attacks using the flames emitted from this bell, so the bell creates the flames.
It kind of reminds me of wrestling. The bell rings when it attacks.
Ding. Torracat's mane serves as an excellent sensory organ, and it can sense what's going on around it. Even in the dark. It can also detect the presence of hidden enemies.
Yeah, that makes sense because tigers hunt in the dark. Another reason it's dark type. Tigers are nocturnal predators that will ambush an opponent in the dark, which is also something that dark type Pokemon do with moves like Sucker Punch and stuff like that. Yeah, so that makes...
Assurance, I can name dark moves too.
It's aware of...
Payback. Yeah.
Good for you, Craig.
I've been studying. Torracat has a great love for battle and will attack so relentlessly that its opponents lose the will to fight. And yet it sometimes behaves like a spoiled child in front of trainers or Pokemon with whom it has built a relationship of trust. So it can build a relationship of trust with other Pokemon?
That's funny. You stumbled, Craig. Because,
and I saved.
No, but you stumbled because the Pokedex has a typo. It's instead of saying it behaves like a spoiled child, it says, and yet it sometimes behaves like spoiled child in front of trainers or
Pokemon with whom it has built a relationship of trust, comrades. The cat punch that this Pokemon can dish out with its strong forelegs is extremely powerful. It can bend iron bars and knock out large men with a single blow.
Was that Scottish? Or
It started off as Russian and it delved into like a Scot-Russian.
That's a thing.
Mate.
Coming soon to the next Star Trek.
Scot-Russian.
They're running out of accents.
It's a mash. I'm good at mashing things. Which is why Guy Fawkes sounds like a mix between an Australian and a Cockney.
Shh.
Secrets. Okay, so it has a move called Cat Punch.
Cat Punch.
Cat Punch. Just
Cat's a cat.
Oh, that's the perfect name for it. The boxer from Mike Tyson's Punch Out.
You have claws, and you don't have particularly strong, like, hard knuckles. Why are you punching?
Maybe it should have been called Tiger Punch.
It's like on Dragon Ball Z, Wolf Fang Fist. Those are three different things.
It's not cognitively put together.
But to be fair,
you're just labeling things now.
To be fair, Dragon Ball Z is supposed to be comedic, so I'm pretty sure
enough.
Akira Toriyama probably knew that was a silly sounding name for an attack.
Maybe it couldn't use Tiger Punch because that's probably owned by Street Fighter.
Oh,
that term, I don't know.
Might be trademarked.
So the next best thing was Cat Punch.
The next best thing is Incineroar. As the Pokedex tells us, as its fighting spirit increases, the flames that Incineroar produces within its body burst from its navel and waistline. Since the flames somewhat resemble a championship belt, they're known as its flame belt, and the Pokemon unleashes moves that use flames from it.
Also a D&D accessory, the flame belt.
In the heat of battle, Incineroar shows no concern for its opponents, and sometimes even launches attacks that strike the opposing trainer. As a result, many tend to dislike this Pokemon and keep it at a distance. Darkest Lariat? How do you pronounce that, Craig?
Lariat.
Darkest Lariat is a dark-type physical move that only Incineroar can learn, and it allows Incineroar to deal damage while ignoring the effects of any stat changes that the target might otherwise be affected by.
A lariat is very similar to like a clotheslined move on wrestling.
Where you hold your arm out.
You hold your arm out and you knock them in the throat.
With your arm. Or if they're running at you, you just kind of like put your arm out and they run into it.
Yeah. It's basically that.
That happens a lot in fights. It works in bar fights too.
Like in choreographed fights.
If you're ever in a bar fight and they try to bounce off the ropes,
it's like they were throwing a punch, but they overshot the punch so much they're like, fuck it, I'm going to punch you in my bicep.
If a crowd watching it battle is pumped up, Incineroar's fighting spirit will burn brighter, but a lackluster crowd can make it lose focus or fight shoddily. When it receives the admiration of young Pokemon and children, it may keep up its cold attitude on the outside, but in its heart of hearts, Incineroar is immensely happy. It loses the desire to fight when faced with a Pokemon that's clearly weak or injured, and it sometimes gets taken advantage of as a result.
So what you're saying is, it fights harder as long as it's getting a reaction from the crowd, whether it's a boo or a cheer. But if the people aren't interested and they just either start chanting something else that's random, like CM Punk, it starts to be like, oh, I'm sad.
I would be sad if I, as the trainer, if I was engaged in a Pokemon battle, I'm like, you guys are chanting for CM Punk. We're having there's a bipedal cat breathing fire at a ghost owl with leaves on its head.
Yeah, but it can't deliver a pipe bomb.
But can it do a lariat?
No, but it could do a spinning lariat. Oh my God. I just noticed? Okay. Incineroar, its category is the heal Pokemon.
That's right, Craig. It is.
Okay. You know what? I'm really starting to like this Pokemon a lot more the more we delve into it.
Yeah. Why don't you explain to the non-wrestling fan listeners, why is it a heal Pokemon? What does that mean?
The heal is the bad guy. And it's not even just in wrestling. Apparently, it's an older saying for like plays.
Yeah,
something.
The heel. See, in wrestling, the heel is the bad guy, and the face is the good guy.
Yep, the baby face, the heel, and then there's a tweener. Stone Cold Steve Austin was a tweener, in case
an anti-hero.
Anti-hero. The Deadpool is the tweener.
And I always assumed they were called heels because of a heel turn. It was called a heel turn if a good guy went to a bad guy.
Right.
So I imagined that was like turning on your heels 360.
Oh, like about face.
And about face.
See, look at that. Heel turn about face.
And then you're doing about faces when you're good. You're a bad guy, and then you're like, "No, I'm gonna do something good." Like you pull a Scrooge.
Doing an about face. You know, it's super easy to become a face. Just all you got to do is either get injured for 6 months and be like loved by everybody, or you just come in and help John Cena when he's getting his butt kicked.
You hear that, listeners? If you want people to like you,
turn.
if you ever just like, if you're not popular at work, just help John Cena.
Or the easier option, because most of you don't know John Cena, get hurt for 6 months.
That's just good advice all around.
If you do it right, you can end up getting workers' comp out of it.
And if you do it really right, you can end up getting twerkers' comp out of it.
And just so we're aware, I am not advocating fraud.
And just so we are aware, I am advocating twerking.
So it almost seems right. In this corner, the heal Pokemon. It is a fire dark type. Standing in at 5'11" and weighing in at 183 pounds. Incineroar.
It does kind of seem like that.
Always wanted to do that.
Always.
Before
you even knew who Incineroar was.
Let's get rid of the rumble.
I thought you were saying, let's get rid of the. So I was like, what is he about to say?
Let's get rid of the rabble.
Let's get rid of the rumble. We're trying to record in here.
I get some feedback.
Well, Craig, in Japan, it's a very common cliche for wrestlers to wear tiger masks. There's an actual recurring character portrayed by many different people in pro wrestling in Japan known as Tiger Mask.
His name is just Tiger Mask.
Yes, it comes from
in New Japan Wrestling. I need to watch more New Japan Wrestling.
I don't know. What's that?
It's the big wrestling promotion in Japan. It's basically their
New
WWE.
Japan Pro Wrestling. Okay, yes. I don't know much about it, but yes, they are the ones who basically in the 70s there was a manga, which is a comic in Japan, of course, about a wrestler named Tiger Mask, and he was a heel. He moved to America and he played a heel in professional wrestling in America, and he wore a tiger mask similar to like a luchador mask.
Yeah, under the guise of, what was his name there? Tiger Mask?
Yes, Tiger Mask.
Oh, so he wasn't in the WWE in America.
Well, there was eventually, like at some point, but this is a manga. This is the story.
Oh, this was the manga.
Yes,
okay.
This is the manga. The manga is about a wrestler that moves to America, becomes a wrestler named Tiger Mask, plays the heel, and then eventually he moves back to Japan, and there's some little kid that's like, yeah, I love Tiger Mask. I want to be a villain like him one day when I grow up. And so
he's like, nah, kid, that's all fake shit. Nah.
He can't. He's got to keep up kayfabe.
Always. Can you imagine him keeping up kayfabe ordering McDonald's? If I don't have any sweet and sour sauce in my chicken nuggets, I'm going to come back there and I'm going to break you over my knee.
If I don't get any Pokemon cards with my meal, I swear to God.
Sir, it's not 1994 anymore.
So he hears the kid talking about that, and that inspires him to change and become a face so that he can have so that he can have a positive influence on the youth.
Yeah, because as every wrestling fan all knows, that decision is left up to the wrestler and the wrestler alone.
Well, maybe in Japan. I don't know.
Probably not.
Maybe in fiction.
I'm sure the top tier probably have that option. You're like, I want to turn face.
That's what you watch. You watch wrestling and swallow the storylines that they write, and that's what you're taking issue with. That someone wrote a manga where the person being a wrestler decides to be a face.
All right, if we were going to sit here and keep talking about this, I'm just going to end up talking about wrestling. So why don't we move on to the Pokemon that the two of us really wanted to get into?
I don't know. Everybody wants us to get into.
I'm not going to speak for all the listeners and all the Pokemon fans out there. Maybe somebody would rather see a Ballerina Primavera. But me, I want to see the badass Rogue.
It's the Ranger, Craig. The Ranger.
There's almost no difference.
Go, go, Owl Rangers.
Okay, now there is.
Go, go, Owl Rangers. Go, go, Owl Rangers. You grass and ghost type Owl Rangers.
I was waiting to see if he would pull it off, and you fucking did. Thank you. I was like, what's he going to say? Is it just going to be...
Craig,
is he going to pull it off?
I got this. You know this, man.
Oh, man, I should just trust in Nathan. You should have fucking been president.
For once, I'm actually compelled to agree with you. I never thought I would, but I'm compelled to agree with you, Craig.
Better options were available.
2020.
Oh, no, wait. They really weren't.
2020. I'll run. You guys want me to run? Let me know. I'll run. I'll run.
That's
you gotta let me know.
You're not going to go. Kanye West is running in 2020.
Oh, I'll do it. I know a lot about running. I know a lot about running. I have a pedometer.
I run for miles.
I know about running. I know about power walking. I know about jogging.
I don't know what kind of accent you're doing, or if you're doing a Kanye West impression.
No, I'm just not even trying to do a Donald Trump. So
it was funny though. So Rowlett looks like this little balloon. Maybe it's one of Popplio's balloons. Who knows? But it's just
fan theory.
It's this little bocce ball with legs, with feet. Not even legs. It just has feet. Basically, it does kind of look like one of those 90s anime owl birds. Like if they were just boo, 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 boo.
Yeah,
you
cute
know, like
little chibi owl.
Yeah.
Like something you'd, like a little plush owl.
Yeah, kind of like the shape of a Furby doll.
Yeah.
Rowlett is the grass quill Pokemon, and Rowlett can attack without making a sound.
According to the Pokedex.
It flies silently through the skies, drawing near to its opponent without being noticed, and then lashing out with powerful kicks. Ta 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 ta. It can also attack from a distance using the razor-sharp leaves that form part of its feathers. So its feathers are made out of leaves.
And its leaves are made out of razors.
So it's made out of the move Razor Leaf. Its visual abilities are impressive, because it's an owl, duh. The darkness of night is no obstacle to Rowlett. It can twist its neck nearly 180 degrees.
Why are you reading this so extreme, Craig?
From front to back so it can see directly behind itself. It has a habit of turning its head in battle to face its trainer and receive instructions. There, is that better, Nathan?
Okay, a little more extreme than that.
The move, Leafage, attacks... Buddy. Check out Netflix. Son-in-law's on there right now.
Leafage.
Oh, man, you buying?
Major
I'm
leafage,
rolling, bro.
Major leafage, Rowlett.
Okay, the move Leafage attacks an opponent by striking it with leaves. Makes sense. Rowlett knows this move from the moment it becomes your partner. I love this.
Why are you reading it like Incineroar?
Because Incineroar's talking about it. I'm talking about my friend Rowlett, brother. He's my little god. I'm his godfather.
I don't know. I'm just really disappointed in all those things we heard Incineroar saying over the phone. Cinna. Incineroar. Oh, Cena is in his name.
Cena-roar.
You okay?
I'm there. I'm almost there. I was so close. You made me think of Hulk Hogan, and it made me laugh in my mind, but I was drinking beer, so I almost spit it out my nose.
And then you made me think of John Cena, and I almost gagged. Then Rowlett evolves to Dartrix. Dartrix, not shaped like a little puffball, but shaped like an owl.
Shaped like a Leonardo DiCaprio, 1997.
Okay, I can see that. You know what I saw was like an emo bang.
Oh, you saw an emo bang?
Right.
I saw the beach, Leonardo DiCaprio.
Right from the start, when they first revealed the second stages, I started saying it had emo hair because the final evolutions had actually leaked all the way back in like July. And I wasn't sure if they were real, but the second they revealed the second stages, I was 100% positive
that it was
the
real.
Leaked evolutions were real.
And that's why you thought it was emo?
Well, one of the things I said was, well, this guy has emo hair that covers like half his face, but then when he evolves, he has full leaves, like the leaves that form his emo hair are now a full hood covering his whole face.
Oh, like the hood, like Green Arrow.
Are you going to name yours Oliver?
Maybe.
That would be a good name.
We'll get into that, though.
I can think of a bunch of good names for this guy.
You saw a little emo scenester kid, and I saw a future Oscar winner.
So Johnny Depp circa Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh!
I liked that.
No, I would have been more.
That's the noise I picture Rowlett making.
Johnny Depp had the slicked back hair. This was either, if it wasn't Leonardo DiCaprio in The Beach, or Romeo and Juliet, it was Jonathan Brandis in Ladybugs.
Dartrix, according to the Pokedex, is extremely sensitive to other presences in the area and can detect opponents behind it and throw feathers to strike them without even seeing them.
Yeah, it just throws knives, and its feathers are knives.
This Pokemon conceals sharp-bladed feathers inside its wings, showing astounding precision as it sends them flying in attack. And it goes beyond propelling its blade quills in simple straight lines. It can even bend these feathers to change their trajectories.
Oh my god, boomerang blade quills. Ugh.
Revealing a certain snobbiness in its personality, Dartrix cares a great deal about its appearance, grooming its feathers in every spare moment. In truth, it's also a bit of a bird brain. I resent that, with a tendency to bungle things up. Once it makes a mistake, it sometimes gets into a desperate struggle to gloss over the situation and ends up making a bigger mess than ever.
It's Zach Morris.
It's emo.
No, it's Zach Morris.
It's emo.
It's emo Zach Morris.
It cares a great deal about its appearance. It always I screw up everything. God. And then it gets in such a desperate struggle to gloss over the situation.
I don't even care about the world. That's why I spent 4 hours doing my makeup.
It makes things a bigger mess than ever. At times, this Pokemon feels so bothered by its dirty or ruffled feathers that it can't focus on battle. When it loses its focus, it sometimes even retires from the battle on the spot. It's up to each trainer to help Dartrix overcome this troublesome stage.
Oh, God, we got to give it a participation trophy.
It's a teenage emo kid. It's up to its trainer, its parents, to help it overcome that stage of its life. If this Pokemon is with a trainer who helps it through, its strength will grow hugely.
So basically, if I was just a parent that attended my child's games, but if I was the dad that was too busy doing work, cats in the cradle and yada yada, growing up's a hard thing to do. Oh, God. Only Mark, Tom, and Travis get me.
Mark, Tom, and Travis are like 50. Ew.
Ew. No, they are not. Forever young, Dad.
They're like the Doctor. They regenerate after a while. Sometimes they're old. Sometimes they're 14.
Yeah. But now we got to the reason why I strayed from the fire dark type I wanted. Decidueye.
So fucking cool.
He is the terror that flaps in the night. And he is going to make sure that the other Pokemon don't fail his city. And he's going to steal from the rich and give to the poor. He is the Aeroquill Pokemon, so maybe I do need to name him Oliver. It's like a must, maybe breeding, I'll name it something else.
Yeah, it has the leaves like form a hood, and then it's kind of like a hoodie. You know how hoodies have like these two little drawstrings
I never
that you pull?
realized the drawstrings there, but I do see it now.
Yeah, and it pulls it to tighten its hood. Like you see that in the trailer, and you also see it. That's what it pulls out to make its bow using its wing. and then it pulls out a feather to make an arrow.
Okay.
And draws the string back as a bow.
So cool.
So fucking cool.
So cool.
They're geniuses at designing characters. They really are.
Yeah, even Magneton, shut up. I don't care. It's cool looking. There. Yeah. I said it.
I agree.
This Pokemon is able to move about while completely masking its presence from others. So it's Batman Arrow.
I love it. I fucking love it.
Once an opponent has lost sight of it, Decidueye seizes the chance to attack its unawares. In a 1/10 of a second, Decidueye plucks an arrow quill from within its wing and sends it hurtling towards its target.
A 1/10 of a second. That's fucking fast.
But how long is the reload time?
A 1/10 of a second.
No, it can shoot it in a 1/10 of a second.
It says, in a 1/10 of a second, Decidueye plucks an arrow quill from within its wing and sends it hurtling towards its target.
Yeah.
One swift motion. Pluck, pulled back, let go, thwang.
Thwang! Its speed is astonishing. No shit. But no more so than its precise aim, which enables the arrow quill to pierce a target through and through from half a mile or more away. Decidueye usually acts very cool.
I'm so cool. Oh, hold on. Let me preen real quick.
But it can become terribly flustered in unexpected situations, like a surprise attack. Just like Oliver Queen.
Or an emo kid.
In the CW show. And it keeps that little trait from its emo side. It looks back at its old high school pictures.
Or like, a born-again Christian that was like emo, listened to the Smiths, The Cure a lot in high school, and then like went down this path of like drugs and unprotected sex, and then got brainwashed and like, anyway.
Wow. Dark. Joined a cult. Spirit Shackle is a ghost-type physical move that only Decidueye can learn. Now, that's a fucking cool move that only the specific Pokemon can learn. An opponent...
same, like Sparkling Aria.
Right, but I don't like the whole idea of healing your opponents. It's stupid.
Or the Lariat move.
Yeah, I don't like... I think the Lariat's a dumb, basic move.
Fucking armbar.
It is not an armbar. Nothing even close. No, an armbar is a submission move.
Oh, yeah, where you're...
Yeah, you're holding the arm.
Okay.
It is a clothesline.
Well, it is an arm bar.
It is a moving clothesline.
You're using your arm as a bar. That's what I meant.
Okay. In the total...
In the scheme of things, Craig, that's what you're doing.
In an arm bar, you are barring the opponent's arm. You know what? Never mind. It makes more sense the way you just described it. So I'm going to stop before I lose faith in wrestling. So back to Spirit Shackle. An opponent hit with this move will become unable to flee from battle or switch out for an ally. A skilled Decidueye can boast acrobatic curved shots. It seems some are also able to shoot arrows that reach up through the sky, only to come drilling down from above, piercing multiple targets one after another. So it's either Oliver of Loxley or DW.
Nice. Coolest fucking Pokemon, but what is the deal with it? It's so interesting. Like, there's so many things crammed into one. It's an archer, it's an owl, it's got a hoodie, it's an emo kid, it's a fucking, like, ranger. What is the deal with this thing?
I'm in love with this Pokemon, and I honestly cannot wait to pick this game up.
So let's tackle the obvious. Archer with a hood, as you've said, Robin Hood, Green Arrow, etc., etc., etc.
Yeah, it's not really Darkwing Duck. I think it's funny because Darkwing Duck was a bird and it's got a, I don't know.
That's
duck.
Racist.
Yep, that was the most foul racist.
That's foul.
And you know what? I can live with myself if this is the most racist thing I've said. I can live with myself.
So obviously its name refers to deciduous trees and also to Deadeye. It has really good eyesight, like an owl.
Like an owl, like a good archer would. It makes sense, so much sense that all the mixtures of this is brilliant.
And deciduous trees sort of die in the winter. They lose their leaves, the leaves change color in fall, and they kind of...
Yeah, and birds molt. What?
Well, it's a ghost type.
Oh, okay.
Deciduous kind of works with that as opposed to like a coniferous tree, which is alive all year round. Coniferi is a total different Pokemon.
Okay.
And also, look at its color scheme. It's got like green leaves, orange leaves, and brown feathers.
Yeah.
So obviously, like the other starters, it is also based on an animal native to Polynesia. This one based on sort of two different types of owls. The
deciduous owl.
The deciduous owl, which loses its feathers in the winter.
Yep. The worst survival move.
Also known as the chupacabra.
It's a negative stat hit to charisma.
No, but the Pueo owl, which in Hawaii are revered as an amakua, which is sort of like a guardian spirit that has the ability to reach into the spirit world, and also the stilt owl. The stilt owl has long legs. If you look up a picture of it, its body type and build, especially its legs, are very similar to decidueyes. And another interesting fact about the stilt owl is that they're extinct, i.e. dead, i.e. ghost type.
We're going to make still owls great again. I promise. When Nathan becomes president, 2020.
You're just going to slap it on a lunchbox and now you're selling it. And you're going to sell it.
We're going to create new life.
That's chaos theory.
You know what? What we're going to do is we're going to build a wall around it and make sure it survives. Nothing can get to this.
See, this would have been funny like a year ago.
Yeah.
Not so much funny anymore.
It's just life now. It is life. Okay.
This is the equivalent of making like a September. No, I'm not going to say that.
No, it's not the equivalent of that. At least not yet. At least not yet. And
at least not yet.
At least hopefully not ever, I guess, is the words I'm looking for.
So back to Pokemon.
Yeah, this got real for too quick.
Not going to let this happen to every podcast we record from this point on. It's not happening, God damn it. All right, so Craig, I propose this theory to you. It's got the emo bangs.
Yeah.
It's got the emo attitude, which
yep.
I do have to say I appreciate how they do a play on like the way birds preen their feathers.
Yeah.
And they're
made it look like they're like that almost makes it seem like they're more prissy and like preppy.
Vain.
And vain, yeah.
Yeah.
Vainish.
And I like that. But it's got the whole emo thing going for it. It even hides razor blades in its wings.
I didn't even think about that.
And then it becomes a ghost type.
Oh my God! Did it commit? Oh, it committed Harry Carey.
Yeah, this is a little weird. Like that's not cool to make light of teenagers hurting themselves, but
it's not. It's not. But I can spin this. Okay. It did it, and it was a bad idea, and it regrets it. Now it's a ghost, and now it's maybe trying to help others as a ghost not do the same thing it did. A champion of the voiceless.
I don't know. It's weird. It's to me, it almost seems so evident that it's hard to argue it. They know what they're doing. They have to know what they're doing, right?
Yeah, but also remember, it's made in Japan, so there's so much good things. Yeah. No, there's a lot of
you
good.
Act like arrogant child.
Yeah, like spoiled milk.
Like spoiled child.
Like spoiled kitty milk. Jesus.
Behave like spoiled child.
There's a ton of good art out there, like films, manga that are edgy as fuck.
It's interesting that maybe children's media has more of these things. And I don't know. Then again, maybe they weren't expecting... I don't know what's going through their minds, because I can't imagine Satoshi Tajiri and them sitting around being like, hey, Ken Sugimori, why don't you draw us a Pokemon that's like an emo owl that kills itself?
I can't picture saying that either, because I believe they are on a first-name basis at this point.
Maybe they're just trying to they're like, hey, so what if we give them more stuff to make creepypastas out of?
Yeah, right.
It's free promotion. The more creepypastas they tell, the more free promotion. This Pokemon might have killed itself, guys.
Dude. And then the more Silph Radio Pokemon creepy Pokepastas that we could read. So there, you're welcome.
And also, I think it's worth noting that it becomes ghost type and everybody's like, I never saw it coming.
I don't know why I laughed. I didn't mean to.
You laughed because it was funny, Craig.
It was funny. It was true, and it had other meanings. It was multiple meanings. I'm like blanking on the word. I know the word that means that.
Besides that.
But I can't think of it right now.
Besides that, there is another influence that I think is the chief influence to this Pokemon.
Fucking Robin Hood.
Robin Hood is definitely a chief influence, but there's a old Hawaiian folktale, and remember, Alola, the region, is based on Hawaii, and all these animals are based on creatures native to Polynesia. So there's an old folktale in Hawaii that tells of Iole the rat, no, not Hercules' brother or best buddy or gay lover.
Okay. So was
Who's that? Aeolus?
Oh, Aeolus.
Remember Aeolus?
The E is silent. Aeolus.
Heath Ledger.
Heath Ledger. You remember him? Maybe I'll just name this Pokemon Heath Ledger.
That was off the podcast. I thought that was on the podcast. We were joking about Heath Ledger earlier. What were the jokes? Right. What were the jokes? I guess you'll never know.
No.
You'll never know.
Just think about what we were talking about. So you got a picture.
It works with this. Apparently, Decidueye is the Heath Ledger of the Pokemon world.
Yeah. So we're going to just name it Heath Ledger. I'm going to name my Pokemon Heath Ledger now. It's not Oliver of Locksley anymore. It is Heath Ledger.
Good. I'll name them Oliver, Vinny, and Feist.
Not sure where the Feist comes from. Like, I know...
Sea Lion.
Oh, okay. So...
Sea Lion. Sea Lion.
Sea Lion.
You got it.
the artist Feist. No, I thought you were going to name Decidueye, this evolution chain, Oliver Vinny Feist. I didn't realize those were your three names.
Yeah, Oliver, Vinny, and Feist. Oliver, I feel like a lot of people will do that, but it's such a great name, though. Like,
Oliver's a good name for starters. That's why I want to break it from that and just be like Oliver of Locksley. Probably not enough characters allowed.
Locksley would be good.
Yeah.
Barton or Clint would be good.
Yeah, that would be a good one. Basically, any famous archer.
Moloch.
Or you can name
it. Your Moloch.
Sterling.
If you want to sacrifice children, you call it Moloch like the emo kids. No, I was trying to be Alex Jones.
Name it InfoWars. I don't know.
Go to Infowars.com. Learn about Decidueye. The real symbolism. Bohemian Grove.
It's about suicide. It's trying to get your kids to commit suicide, people.
I've been saying this. The creepypasta's been saying this for years.
Read across the lines, people. We're through the looking glass.
It's not just
now.
Lavender Town anymore.
It's not just Lavender. It is not. Your child is dead.
So, let's get back to this folktale.
All your family is dead.
Craig's like, let's not.
Okay, it's an archer. So what if it was named Sterling?
Is that from the show Archer?
Yeah.
Sterling. I don't
Sterling
watch
Archer is the main character.
Yeah, totally.
All of these are great names. There, you can have them.
H. John Benjamin.
That
might be a little too on the nose.
Too on the nose. Just, give me 50 cents for it. I don't know.
You don't have to give us a 5-star review on iTunes.
Yeah, do that. Fuck.
So this folktale, which seems to be the chief influence aside from Robin Hood or Oliver Queen, it's known as Owl and Rat and the Boy Who Was Good at Shooting Arrows. You might want to workshop that title.
It's a brand new title. A brand new song. The band brand new, not like a new song.
Oh, band brand new.
The band brand new, yeah.
Really?
That's like a title to one of their songs. That's definitely...
They do have those long emo titles. Yeah, you're right. And I do think that Rowlett and Dartrix
forgive you, but my Tommy gun don't.
So, Aeolus, the lover of Hercules, Heath Ledger, we're back in this loop again. Somebody save us from this loop. Iole, the rat, and Pueo, the owl, became really, really good friends. And they stayed that way until suddenly one day potatoes started going missing from Pueo's potato patch.
Oh my God, the owl totally stole the potatoes.
No, hold on.
The rat stole the potatoes.
Yeah.
Pueo
is the owl. He's got the potato patch. He becomes friends with Iole, the rat. And
Iole, you potato thief.
Potatoes start... Because we all know how much owls like potatoes.
Yeah. I mean... Honestly, if I were an owl, I'd probably prefer a rat.
Well, Pueo finds out that it's the rat Iole that's been stealing the potatoes. So
backstabbing son of a bitch.
Seriously, so he kicks Iole out of his forest or whatever, and totally ends their friendship.
Oh, it's Piola's forest now? He owns the forest?
Out of his
his domain of the forest?
I don't know. He's got potato crops, so I don't know.
You are banished from my part of the forest.
He's like, get out of here.
And the rat, and Yola the rat goes, yeah, sure. But he doesn't.
Oh, is it Rizzo? I love Rizzo. Rizzo the rat, the Muppet. He's one of my favorite.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Oh, sure. I wasn't going for that, but sure.
One of the most underrated Muppets. I love Rizzo.
Yeah, I totally forgot about him.
He's great.
He's
great.
There's what, like 10 Muppets?
Don't you remember Muppets Go to Universal Studios?
Is that a thing?
Yeah, it was like a special on the Disney Channel. Weird that they go to Universal Studios and not Disney World, even though it was a Disney special.
It was a Disney special?
Oh. It was an ABC Magical World of Disney. Remember the Magical World of Disney?
I do remember the Magical World of Disney. Tinkerbell all over that shit.
Yeah. It was one of those specials. I have it on VHS, recorded off television, and it was great.
Makes sense now. I just remember like Christmas on Sesame Street.
Gonzo and...
That's not even the
Belinda,
Muppets.
Belango, what's her name? Lucille. What's her name?
Lucille. Miss Piggy?
No, his bird. It's on the tip of my tongue. His chicken.
Oh.
Not Belinda. Belinda's from Return to Oz. What's the name of Gonzo's chicken? I'm not going to look it up because I know this. Trying to be slick.
I don't have my phone in my hand. I promise.
Camilla.
Camilla. You know what? I wasn't even going for the Muppets at that point. I was like trying to remember back at Muppet Babies.
Yeah, Gonzo and Camilla
was all over Muppet Babies.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, Gonzo and Camilla were wandering around, and Rizzo. Who was Rizzo with? I don't remember. Oh, Rizzo was, I think, with Kermit's nephew. What's his name?
Sheldon. I don't know. Frog Boy.
Odyssey Man.
Kermit's nephew.
So back to the story. Pueo kicks Iole the rat out of his forest. They're not friends anymore. So Iole's like, fuck it, I'm going to keep stealing this dude's potatoes. So he keeps stealing the potatoes, and Pueo's like, I don't know what to do. He goes to Io the hawk and asks him for help.
Why? You're an owl. You're a fucking predator.
Right? And the hawk's like, I don't know, man. You're on your own with that. Iole's way too cunning. I'm not trying to fuck with that. But you know who might help you? I know this dude. It's a human.
John Cena.
I know this dude is a human. His name's John Cena.
Nice.
He really needs a face push, so he really needs to get over.
Heel turn. He does need to get over.
He really needs to get over, so maybe he'll help you out. And after people see him helping an owl, everyone's going to fall in love with him. They're like, ah.
I really think at this point only a heel turn would help get John Cena over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't watch, but he's never seemed like a likable character to me.
Oh,
he seems like a likable dude.
This is my impression of John Cena. I am a robot. I am perfect in every way. I am Super Cena. Children love me.
As I've said before, the difference between now and the 90s, like the problem with professional wrestling is that there's no interesting Pokemon battles happening.
I mean, that is
characters.
The problem.
There's no interesting characters.
No interesting Pokemon battles is the main problem for wrestling
like
for
95%
its entirety.
of TV.
For its entirety. Completely.
That's why I haven't watched Breaking Bad yet.
No Pokemon.
So the Hawk's like, look, I know this dude. It's a human boy. His name's Pikoi, and he's a great archer, and he's actually specifically good at shooting rats with arrows.
Specific. That is specific.
Yeah, he was like, that's about the size of a womp rat.
It's about 2 meters wide.
So the owl goes to Pikoi, and he's like, hey, I need your help catching this rat. And the boy's like, holy shit, animals can talk.
The world, the end is nigh.
Infowars.com.
Somebody get Alex Jones over here. What he does is he then goes, grabs a shoebox, traps the owl in it, and tries to show other people. But then the owl just goes, hoo, hoo.
Then it's ghost type.
It's a ghost type. And it's just like, why do you have a dead owl in a shoebox? And he looks at the thing, and then the people walk away, and the owl goes, no, seriously, I need your fucking help.
So the boy actually does agree to help him. Gets his arrows, and when he sees the mouse, he doesn't want to kill it for some reason. So he shoots the arrow and expertly ensnares it by its whiskers. Like he pins it down with the arrow by its whiskers.
But it could just rip its whisker out.
Yeah, but I think he taught it a lesson maybe.
Oh.
See, this is important though.
End of story?
Well, it's important because do you remember what Decidueye's signature move was? It's called Spirit Shackle, in which it fires an arrow at the opponent, which snares them and does not let them switch out.
Oh!
In the trailer, it uses this move against Alolan Raichu, which is a mouse. Doesn't use it against Alolan Raticate.
Nope.
But Alolan Raticate...
Too big of a mouse, too messy.
Alolan Raticate is normal type. It's normal and dark. And so a ghost type move wouldn't land against it. So it would be...
Makes sense.
Not useful.
Now it makes sense.
Yep. To use in the...
It would make sense to move again, to work against an electric type.
Yep. So...
maybe not super effective, but it works.
I think it's pretty inarguable that this along with the Stilt Owl, which is extinct, along with the Emo Kid, which killed itself.
Can we just pause for a second, though? I want to go to this move set. Why doesn't ghost type affect normal type? Because it should. Like, people are afraid of ghosts.
Yeah, I think it's because it's probably a balance thing. It's an even trade-off. Normal doesn't affect ghosts. Ghosts don't affect normal. Maybe it's because, like, a lot of people say ghosts can't hurt you. Don't worry. Don't be afraid if you see a ghost because it can't hurt you.
Yeah, but then those people end up dead when a ghost hurts them.
Those people don't live in the Pokemon universe.
Those people don't live in Pulse Land. Those people don't live in Poltergeist Land. Those people don't
live in the imagination of Ed and Lorraine Warren.
Yeah, exactly. Like, come on, ghosts can possess you. That's the thing. Oh, no, only demons can possess dolls. Ghosts can possess people. Right, inanimate
Ghosts
objects.
Can possess
that was the
Popplio.
thing. Ghosts can possess balloons. No, but I see what you're saying. It's a ghost type. Wait, the story. It does Spirit Shackle is what does the story. Emo Kid, Archer.
Hold on.
Yeah, I'm done. I gotta say, man, I am super pumped and in love right now. This whole thing, all these starters, I'm excited to honestly play all of them. There's going to be 3 playthroughs for Craig. I'm going to get every starter.
You don't have to. You can trade with your friends.
Yeah, true.
There'll probably be like event giveaways.
Well, I mean, I'm going to play through the first time with the grass type. I'm going to choose the cat, Litten, and I'm going to train that up. We don't have time for games, though.
we have
in our real life
podcasts
lives. Yeah. If I got time for games, I got time to do podcast stuff.
You know what's the best podcast stuff that you could do?
Nathan, tell me, what is that?
It's to go on iTunes and leave us a review and or a rating.
Reviews are so good. They're so welcome. They're so great.
Please do it. We love getting new reviews. It's the highlight of our lives, and it's a great way
to stay in shape. It's a great way to stay in shape.
Yeah, work that index finger.
Work
that thumb.
Work the thumbs. Work the other fingers if you're on a laptop or a desktop. Don't matter, I guess, at that point. It's on an actual keyboard.
And it's a great way to start a dialogue. We don't have that many reviews. We've got tons of listeners, but only 9 reviews on iTunes.
Shame.
And you know what?
Shame.
If you leave us a review, we are willing to read it on the air. And we are willing to prove it right now as we read and respond.
Oh, do you dare me? Do you dare me, Nathan, to read some fucking reviews?
I dare you to read and respond to these reviews with me, Craig.
Maybe we're just a little too fucking vulgar when we're fucking talking about this fucking shit.
Well, why don't you dive in with our first review all the way back in 2014 land from RiderFan215. The title of the review is Would Be Good.
If you didn't curse, you see, it's offensive.
You see. He's educated. I can tell because he said, you see.
It's offensive.
It's offensive.
Curse words.
I just picture him having, I'm sorry to interrupt you again, but having like these glasses that he adjusts like, it would be good if you didn't curse. You see, adjust his glasses. It's offensive.
Curse words are for people that don't have well-developed vocabularies. Sorry. You've lost a would-be subscriber.
And they gave us a 2-star rating.
Oh, not so bad. At least it wasn't a 1.
A 2-star. That was our first rating, too. We are the best goddamn Pokemon podcast on the internet.
Yeah, listeners, rise up. Tell us we're the fucking best.
And they gave us a 2-star rating because we curse, which is, all right, cool. You don't like it. That's cool. We do warn you at the start of like every episode. We didn't warn you in this one, but like, Come on, man. There's an explicit tag on iTunes.
There is an explicit tag on it. If you didn't like cursing, maybe you shouldn't download podcasts that are explicit tags. I'm not trying to like take our back with this one because honestly, you can think what you want, but that's stupid. I think that's stupid. Maybe we curse too much, but
I'll take
we're adults. It's an adult.
I will take the criticism. Thing. But I also think maybe this just wasn't the podcast for you. I hope people don't think we're just like, yeah, if you give us a bad review, we're going to shit on it. No, if we didn't curse, well, this isn't the podcast for you, dude.
I curse. It doesn't mean I have a low vocabulary. I may now because I'm a little inebriated, but my brain, my cranium is hemorrhaging all sorts of knowledge at
I just want you to know my brain is hemorrhaging knowledge and you little... All right, Morrissey.
So even when I'm drunk, I have a better vocabulary than some people.
Yeah, and cursing does not... Wait. Actually, did Rider Fan 215 just accuse me of not having a well-developed vocabulary?
That's outrageous.
That's
ostentatious.
That's supercilious.
That is beyond super silly.
It's super silly and supercilious.
It is both. Yeah, and seriously. The next review comes from Jeremy Jerome, titled, Great Content.
I laugh at almost everything. Most of the things you talk about is relatable. 5 stars. Thank you, Jeremy. That's awesome. Most of the things we talk about is relatable. I agree.
Yeah, we try to relate is what we do. That's the things we do.
It's relatable whether you're a human or a Pokemon.
And for the 5 stars, Craig gives you thumbs up.
Thank you.
And a wink with a click. That's how you know when you're just listening to something. That's how you know somebody winked when they click.
Yeah, totally. The next review is called Really Funny by Black Cat Crochet. And it's another 5-star review.
Oh, I wanted to say the 5-star thing, but that's okay. We could do it on the next one. I love listening, and it often makes me laugh. I don't know a lot about Pokemon, so it's great to learn new things, and I am so happy. That was the end of it, but I am so happy that you're able to educate anybody on Pokemon.
That's super cool. Black Cat Crochet, I'm really curious. Who are you, and what brought you to our podcast?
Yes.
Yeah,
but
not
nope
like,
on the
who are you, and like, what's your address, and what are you wearing?
Nope.
No, not at all.
And it's not because there's no interest there. It's just because we're not creepers. We aren't creepers. You can be anonymous.
Yeah, no, I mean it. Who are you? You don't have to tell me a name.
Who are you as a person? Like not the name or address or where you are.
I want to know what brought somebody that doesn't know a lot about Pokemon to the Pokemon podcast. Do you like Pokemon?
I am going to theorize here. This is maybe somebody that listens to the podcast.
Let's theorize. Infowars.com. Black Cat Crochet is Obama.
Oh, it is not Obama. Obama is too busy praying to Mecca.
It's Taylor Swift.
Saw it.
She's on 4chan.
I had a camera inside the Oval Orifice. Anyways,
camera inside Taylor Swift's Oval Orifice.
You wouldn't believe what happens
next.
Is
this Infowars.com or TMZ?
This is clickbait material. Anyways.
Black Cat Crochet, we want to know what brought you to the podcast. Were you a listener of Fairpoint or something? I don't know. We'd love to hear back from you. If you're still listening, shoot us a message on Facebook or Twitter or something and let us know. So the next review is by Ace Lord of Spades.
You don't say.
And it's called Love It.
Aw, I'm glad you love it.
How many stars was this one, Craig?
This was a fucking 5 stars. It was over 5 stars.
It was exactly 5 stars.
Exactly 5 stars.
Just like every review except for that one by Rider
Except
Fan.
for that one. No, I think there's a 4-star somewhere.
No, not yet.
There's a 4-star, maybe.
There is a 4-star, but we haven't got there yet.
Oh, you're talking so far. I was spoiling shit, I guess. Spoiler alert on this awesome part of the podcast everybody loves to hear. That was me sucking our own dick.
Leave it on iTunes, please, Craig. Save it for the iTunes comments and reviews section.
Don't worry, I will. 6969. So, Ace Lord of Spades says, I love this podcast, and whoever doesn't like this podcast just because of the cursing is stupid.
Who is he talking about?
It is definitely not a review we just read, and it is not one of us that wrote this review, I promise. But Ace Lord of Spades? I love you. You are a hero.
You're not.
You are our champion.
Well, it can't be Nick because Nick's Ace of Cups.
Yep. But this Ace Lord of Spades is our champion right now.
Wait, if that's not you, Nick, then you need to fucking leave us a review on iTunes. I know you're listening, superfan Nick.
Yeah, he is too. That's creepy and awesome. It's two sorts of things. And no, what I love is that you guys are taking the time out to review this podcast. I love that you like the dynamic between me and Nathan. I love that. I love you, Nathan.
I love you, Craig, and I love our listeners, and I love
this
Pokemon.
podcast too. I love our listeners and the fact that I'm glad that I make them happy.
Oh, look at this. People in Pokemon living in harmony.
Look at that. If only we elected a Pokemon president.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. What? Cyndaquil 2020.
We did.
Oh, my God. We did. Holy shit, we did. Holy shit, they made a Pokemon that looks like Donald Trump. And he wasn't supposed to win. He was never supposed to win.
We
might have lost a couple listeners, but fuck it. You know,
the next review.
He wasn't supposed to win, Nathan. He wasn't.
The next review is it's called Great Ball, and it's by Arca Ninetales.
Okay, I'm stopping you right there. That's fucking sick.
Great name.
It's a great name.
Great name. Arca Ninetales, you have a great name. Just thought we'd let you know. It's a better name than Drumpf or Trump. Arca Ninetales says, y'all have helped me find my inner Pokefan.
Great.
That's awesome. We are so happy to hear that. We assume you also maybe you grew up on the cartoon and had a passing familiarity with liking Pokemon when you're younger, and then maybe you had
like
a nostalgia
adult Pokemon
kick.
fans, and you get a nostalgia kick.
I don't know. Let us know. We'd love to hear more from you, Arca Ninetales. You have an awesome name. You can hit us back, too.
You can hit us back. You want to be on this shit? This ain't even my actual podcast. This is Nathan's podcast, but I'm giving you a spot.
I'll do an episode with you.
Yeah.
I've got the password.
Dude, Nathan gets set out for one. I mean, Jesus, he's been on like all of them or some shit. The next review is by The Eye That Bleeds because, like, they're so dark. But it's a super smiley face emoji. Thanks.
How ironic.
That's the title. It is ironic, but it's great. And
don't you think?
It's a 5-star. 5-star. 5-star.
So this one's from Dartrix, a.k.a. The Eye That Bleeds. Super emo. Way emo, dude. In a good way.
I don't even shop at Hot Topic anymore because that's like too mainstream. That's the emo thing, right?
Maybe it's more emo to shop at Hot Topic.
Oh, maybe it is. You know what? I don't know. I'm fucking 30-something.
I'm too complacent and apathetic to care about anti-consumerist values.
Listen, maybe you should just like keep your small vocabulary away from me.
Fuck shit, fuck damn cock, ass, fuck.
Poop.
Dick fuck.
Yeah, poop. Balls.
Poop
Fart.
Balls.
Poop balls fart.
All right, that was way more entertaining to Craig than I wish you guys could have seen that. Anyway.
It doesn't even matter because I made myself laugh. It's great to hear other people's perspectives on the world of Pokemon, especially adults. Great job. Keep it up.
That's awesome, though. It's great to hear other people's perspectives on the world of Pokemon, especially adults. I agree. There's not enough adult entertainment for Pokemon fans.
I gotta say, though, there's all these 5-star reviews, and it warms my heart. I just hope that you love my actual podcast just as much as you love Nathan's podcast that I'm on a lot.
What, Fair Point?
Yeah.
Well, that's our podcast.
Well, yeah, but like Silph isn't mine.
No, but
Fair Point's part mine.
You're like Silph Radio's godfather, like the godparent, you know?
Aww.
Like
I'm fucking Al Pacino.
Like like not that type of, but like the godparent. Like if anything happened to me, I would trust you to take care of Silph Radio and continue the legacy.
I would need to find somebody else that's really good at editing. Just saying.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. Like it's my Fair Point is our podcast.
Yeah,
Silph is mine,
or yours.
It's mine,
It's
but
yours.
you're like its stepdad.
Sweet. You're the real dad. I'm the weekend warrior. Boosh.
The next review is by Berkelstein, who I believe has been leaving a lot of great comments and likes and stuff on Facebook. We just want to point that out, that we don't miss that shit. We recognize names and stuff. It pops up. It rings our bells.
Dude, Perkelstein.
Like
Perkelstein. You're cool, and we're going to get to that request soon.
Yeah, if we're not mistaken, you requested some reviews of some pretty intriguing horror, sci-fi, kishy, kung fu movies for Fair Enough podcast.
That alone sounds tenfold awesome.
Yeah, and it's going to happen. As you've probably surmised, we are really behind schedule, but
don't matter. It's going to happen.
We're going to do it. We're going to do it.
Gonna do it.
No one's made a request that we haven't fulfilled yet.
Gonna do it. I'm not raising the taxes.
So Berkelstein says, passionate discussions, chairs thrown, feelings hurt, awesome.
Yeah, that sounds like a Fair Enough review.
Right.
But awesome, because
I love it. But no, Silph Radio as well. Me and Jeremy have gotten into it. Phil.
That's true. Phil as well.
Yeah. I love it.
As well. Yeah, the whole 6 Pokemon thing.
We are glad you enjoy it and honored that you think it's the best Pokemon podcast ever. Thank you.
Don't worry, Berkelstein. I thought the same thing when I listened to that. I was like, go. Like, I was about to shout, Jerry, Jerry, Jerry.
We received a lot of feedback to that episode. The episode with me, you, John, and Phil discussing the politics and science of Pokemon battles. Lots of feedback. Hopefully we can get something like that going again.
So the next review comes from the Podcasting Couch.
That's a podcast, and you should definitely go check it out.
You should go check out the Podcasting Couch.
Yeah, you should.
And thank you, other podcast, for taking the time out to review another podcast.
We appreciate it.
We do appreciate it. Yours is titled One of the Very Best. Like no podcast ever was. This show is fantastic. Every episode explores a different aspect of the Pokemon universe you didn't know you wanted to learn more about. And boy, do they deliver. This show is pretty well produced and always interesting. A great listen. No. You're great.
A great review, a great listen
review.
For me to hear Craig read that. The soothing sounds of Craig Lewis's voice.
Oh, baby, it's better than Barry Manilow, baby.
Delivering such warm, thoughtful words. Thank you, the Podcasting Couch. We really appreciate it. I put a lot of work into making sure this podcast sounds like it's well-produced.
Yeah, that hits the heartstrings.
But I put a lot of work into fooling you into thinking it's well-produced, so I appreciate that nod of acknowledgement.
Don't sell yourself short, Nathan. You're just self-deprecating. Small vocabularies.
Small silly fucking vocabularies. Hey, keep up your podcast. Thank you for the kind words. And we hope that our listeners will enjoy your show as well. The next and final review that we have for the evening, it's called Great Podcast, Spotty Releases by Penguin Mage. This one was a 4-star review as compared to the last 5.
Oof, we were on a streak. Hot streak.
But I appreciate that, and I'm okay with that. Thank you.
It is real.
Thank you, because you have a very real critique to give us here. The podcast is an enjoyable, mature take on the Pokemon universe and the things that go on within its various mediums. The main host and weekly guest hosts are always entertaining.
Thanks.
Thank you. Great random Pokemon topics. Only thing that would make the podcast better would be a more regular release schedule for episodes. That is totally fair, and you know what you did? You did exactly what we need you guys to do to make that possible.
You know what you did? You made a fair point.
Yeah, you made a fair point, and you left us a review and a rating. It was 4 stars, not quite a 5-star, which is my favorite type of review, but it was honest, and that's more important to me because it helps us grow as a podcast and know what our fan base and listener base wants, and they want a regular podcast, which we want too.
Right, but I still love the 5 stars, so don't stop those. Those are great to just keep coming in. Make me feel num, 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 num. I'm full inside.
But really, we want to do this shit for a living. We want to do so much. There are more series that we want to put into production. There are more episodes that we want to do. We want to do it more regularly and more reliably, and the way to help us do that is by leaving these reviews and ratings, by hitting us up on Facebook, by whatever little way that you can help us. It helps so much. If the Patreon's up, help us on Patreon, but you don't need to give us any money. You can just give us a fucking thumbs up on our YouTube videos. You can like our posts on Facebook, and you can leave 4 or 5-star reviews on iTunes.
Yeah. Oh my God, you put that very well. I mean, We try. We really try. It's very hard to maintain a creative endeavor, working 50 plus hours a week, having other life responsibilities you got to deal with. And for one, I super appreciate Nathan for being my rock with podcasting.
Oh, dude, I couldn't have done this shit without you. And I couldn't have done this without any of the listeners either.
Absolutely not. And if the listeners could share this shit, if you really like this shit and you want us to keep going, you want to come out way more regularly, share the fuck out of it.
Please do.
Make your friends listen. I know it's weird. I try to introduce MC Lars and MC Chris to people, and it's weird, waiting for them, you like this reference shit?
But that's music. Music is so subjective. Turn people on to podcasts. I think podcasting is a medium that is just waiting to blow up because it is the perfect medium for the modern day, for the working person. It is perfect. You
guys all love Colbert and Jimmy Kimmel and shit, right? Well, what if you didn't have to sit in one spot and watch it?
We don't need to. We're preaching to the choir, but use this to preach to
your friends that don't listen to podcasts.
Yeah, the people that aren't in the choir that have such beautiful singing voices. Get them.
Not like me. I do not. But to your friends, I would love
all
their
your
singing
Primarinas.
Yes. All the Primarinas belong to us.
Thank you so much for all the kind words, all the great reviews. Keep it coming. We love it. It all helps. We want to make this shit our career. The sooner we can do that, the sooner we can make a little bit of money off this, the more podcasts we'll be able to pump out on a regular basis. And they'll all be higher quality. There's more series on the horizon, more episodes of Fairpoint, more episodes of Fair Enough, and more episodes of Silph Radio.
And now that we're done sucking our own dick, we can sign off. Oh, my God. But this was very cathartic for me.
Yes. Follow us on Twitter.
Small fucking vocabularies.
Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter at FairpointPod. And hit us up. Get in touch with us.
And we love you.
We love you. Thank you so much for all the fucking support. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for the fucking kind words. And we will talk to you next time.
But definitely go out, get Sun and Moon, play it, and tell us what you think and what starters you chose.
Yes, please. Please, please do. Lots more Sun and Moon talk coming.
Always from the secret room, I was Craig Lewis.
And I still am Nathan K.
Still, forever and always.
After all these years.
This is where we join hands and interlock them in a weird, awkward moment while the screen fades off.
We're already doing it.
And fade to black. Scene.